Well, when you are here in the state of Jivan Mukti, and your character is still alive, but your character will have been divinized, you will be able to be in the wheel of life and death, but not of it any longer, because you are an eternal being who is not born nor dies, but you'll be able to act the part of a living being who is apparently mortal without suffering at all and being in a state of total joy and bliss. That's Mahasukha. That's turning samsara into nirvana. And you know, it's only in the final phase of the whole time cycle that humans now have amnesia for. They don't remember Sat Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapar Yuga. They only think Kali Yuga. And before that, we were cavemen or, you know, crustaceans in the ocean or something. That you know, we didn't have higher civilizations. And because we don't have a clear history of that, we don't recognize that we are in the most fallen state now. And the other lives are incredible adventures and miraculous, cosmically alive and potent divine beings acting far beyond the limitations of this planetary existence with extraordinary capacities. We had vimanas that could travel intergalactically at beyond light speed. We had all kinds of technology so far beyond anything that exists now that these are just toys. We have no idea of what we were able to create with an infinite intelligence, and we now have one tiny sliver of that. And most people, even that is incoherent. But in our fullness of being, we create adventures that are so far beyond anything the greatest novelist could imagine that you don't have to miss out on that if you want to enjoy that. But you're going to enjoy it from that eternal space in which nothing's happening at all. It's just a dream. None of it is real. But it's your own creative imagination producing beauty and joy and every kind of the most exquisite texture of feelings and production of beauty of forms and of artistry of every kind. That is what the creation is really all about. It's the activation of that is one aspect of liberation. And the other is the fact that you are in the transcendent light and you are never dirtied by incarnation at all. But it's the paradox of both being true and being a unified whole at that level of the Absolute Self that is the incredible prize that you are able to win through this process of self-liberation.
Yeah, okay. So, is there really any part of us that's lost?
No.
In death or
well,
anything?
The part that believes it is lost has lost itself, but your real self can never be lost, no.
So then there's no real thing that's lost?
No, you're playing a part. Your character has to pretend it's lost in order to be found again, you know? That's the great joy of the prodigal son, you know? You have to go through that. And then the joy of your own redemption and grace is so great that it was worth going through the dark night of the soul and feeling lost. Let's do it again, you know? And that's why we go through this. We love our tragedies, you know, and our heroes' quests and all of the things we have to go through in order to finally receive the grace that makes it all worthwhile. But we know in advance that it's coming because we have designed the whole play. So it's all beautiful and perfect, no matter how horrendous it looks. And when you know there's no death and no real suffering because it's God who's experiencing everything, not a bunch of suffering beings who are lost. No, that's just the apparent superficial level of the movie. But the actors aren't suffering in the movie. you know, and they have their doubles that do all of the real tricks anyway, you know, which happen to be our soul consciousness. So the real acting is all done by the one self, and through the medium of the souls, and then the bodies are just the masks that we wear, and we pretend we're suffering and we have pain and we have karma and blah, blah, blah. But none of it is real. And it's because bliss is the only real truth of our being that we allow this to go on, and then eventually end it with a gigantic fireworks show. And in one day, all the souls go back into the light.
Thank you very much.
Blessings.